because we are the predator, we are the cancer, we are the danger at this moment. So from nature's point, think of it from nature's point of view. You know, human species...
We are the danger.
Yeah, it was a good experiment that didn't work.
Yeah, sometimes I think, I was going to ask you if, are we going too fast sometimes in terms of technology? I feel that human beings are creating such things that we cannot imagine the consequences of them. I mean, in terms of ecological disaster, or in a small way, all kind of waves and things through antennas and you mean cellular phones, all kind of things that we cannot measure its consequence.
Well, the fact is that human creativity is unstoppable, and therefore technology is unstoppable. And yes, we do not know the consequences of what we create, but then nature has self-correcting mechanisms, you know. When we create technologies that get to a certain stage and we start to see cancer and illnesses, that's nature also correcting herself, you know. It's all a self-correcting process, so I wouldn't worry about that. The thing about technology is that technology by itself is neutral. What we do with technology is dependent on our state of consciousness. We can use the same technology to restore the ecosystem, the same technology to bring economic empowerment to the poor, the same technology to solve conflicts in the world through creativity and economic and other incentives. The same technology to create cross-cultural understanding through cross-cultural music and entertainment and cross-cultural stories. The same technology to create new mythology which will give new raw materials for our collective imagination. The same technology to harness the power of collective intelligence. So technology can be wonderful if we put our consciousness into what we want from it.
Okay, let's stop for a minute, think of it, and we go on in a minute. Vamos a una pausa y seguimos con Deepak Chopra. You know, I've told you that 3 days ago, when I heard that you were coming to Argentina, I was wondering if we are going to meet again. And I was thinking of, to write you an email to tell you if we can meet for other things, and I have some personal questions, not for here, but for me. And when that happened, when I was wondering if I was going to meet you, my phone rang, and the TV producer called me to ask me if I was able and prepared to make you an interview. And I get so shocked. And I said, well, that's destiny. And I think you call that synchro destiny. You know? What you can tell me about that?
Well, at the most fundamental levels of the universe, everything is correlated with everything else. It's what's called non-local correlation. There's physics to it that at the deepest levels of nature, there's infinite correlation. And in fact, that's the only way to explain nature or simultaneity. How does a human body, you have 100 trillion cells in the body, each cell does 6 trillion things per second, and every cell instantly correlates its activity with all the other cells. So a human body can think thoughts and play a piano and kill germs and remove toxins and make a baby all at the same time. That is because at that level there is correlation even without the exchange of energy or information signals. It's a very fundamental concept now, this non-local correlation in physics, in particle physics. What this means is that what we call accident or randomness in the nature or chance or coincidence is actually the very mechanics of creation. In fact, everything that happens in the universe happens because of this synchronicity. Now, because we cannot see the full picture, and with our senses, we only see 1/1000th of what's happening around us, and everything else gets edited out. In the inability to see the big correlations, when we cannot see the correlations, we say, oh, it's a chance, it's an accident, it's a coincidence. But actually, even the word coincidence is a good word, because it's coincidence, many incidents happening simultaneously. So synchronicity is a phenomenon that seems to be improbable, but in the deeper reality it's not. It's a phenomenon that's orchestrated outside the laws of space-time and causality. It's a phenomenon where everything is instantly correlated with everything else. But it's a phenomenon that occurs when you're in a more expanded state of consciousness, when you're not constricted or fearful or attached or worried or full of anxiety. It's more likely to happen. It's like you have an intention and you leave it, and there's no anxiety about it, and you're more in a state of interconnectedness, let's say. And you also then recognize that your very intention, you had the thought. Well, that thought is also a pattern of behavior of the total universe. It's correlated with everything else. So it's not that your thought actually caused the event. Your thought was the simultaneous actualization of information in a larger bed of information. It was correlated with everything else. These are very important things to pay attention to, because it shows you actually that there's transformation happening through quantum leaps of creativity that are orchestrated through intention. Synchronicity is an expression of the creativity of the universe. You had the thought, but the universe then somehow creatively responded, it seems, to that thought. And it also shows you the connection between your inner world of thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, and your outer world of space-time events, of relationships, of situations and circumstances. Normally we separate this. I have a private world, and there is a world out there, which is everyone to see. But as far as the universe is concerned, this world here and that world out there are both its own patterns of behavior, and they're correlated.
Yes. Well, it happens with health. I mean, health, it's the normal way of being. Health, it is a sort of holy order that exists in nature. But I've heard about you that we can help to co-create that health. Is it no? Do you think that it's that possible? How can we help to do that?
By not interfering. Everything that's happening in nature is through effortless spontaneity. You're not making your heart beat right now. It's doing it. You're not regulating your blood pressure. It's doing it. You're not regulating your body temperature. It's happening. You're not regulating your blood sugar or the secretion of hormones. All this activity is happening simultaneously and effortlessly. The same thing is true in nature. A bird is flying effortlessly, fish are swimming effortlessly, flowers bloom effortlessly. So you see in nature there's a principle called do less, accomplish more, and ultimately do nothing and accomplish everything. It's the spontaneity which with something comes out of nothing. The whole universe comes out of nothing. Nothing becomes everything. Now, whenever we interfere with that process through stress, which is the perception of threat by either feeling physically threatened or emotionally threatened or psychologically threatened, or getting too attached to me and mine, I am separate from everything else, or having attachment to the outcome, or using too much effort, or resisting the present moment, because the present moment is also a conspiracy of the total universe. You fight the present moment, you're fighting the whole universe. So anytime you put up resistance or fight or fear or separation, or everything is exclusively me or mine, or you get attached, then you start to interfere with that process. Health is wholeness, health is holy, health is healing. It's the spontaneous